Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Andrus. We now know the names of the two victims in Saturday's shooting at the Hilltop Apartments in Hazleton. Police were called to the Hilltop Apartments just after 5 o'clock p.m. for reports of a gunshot victim. When officers arrived, they found two people shot. Vanessa Big Car was pronounced dead at the scene, and her boyfriend Patrick Hurst was taken to the hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Hazleton City Police have also released the name of the shooter, Miguel Lara, who lived in the apartment below Big Car. Lara had been found by officers in his apartment with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators say this was an isolated incident, and there is no ongoing threat to the community. Hazleton City Police need the public's help in finding this man, Terrence Belt. He is wanted on multiple charges stemming from an incident on March 25th of this year. Police say 33-year-old Belt broke into a house on West Main Street and was found inside by the owner. He fled on foot and then allegedly stole a 2012 Ford Fusion from a nearby CVS parking lot. He is wanted for burglary with overnight accommodation, criminal trespass, theft by unlawful taking, and receiving stolen property. If you see Belt or know his location, Hazleton Police say not to approach him and contact 911 immediately. A Shavertown attorney whose conviction in a deadly crash was recently overturned is now facing professional punishment. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court's Disciplinary Board has ordered Joseph Persico to be temporarily suspended from practicing law starting October 12th. Persico, a former managing partner at the Wilkes-Barre law firm Rosen, Jenkins, and Greenwald, was convicted of vehicular homicide and DUI after a wrong-way crash on the Pennsylvania Turnpike in 2018 that killed Scranton resident Paul Garrity and injured another driver. Prosecutors say Persico's blood alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal limit. In July, a Superior Court panel threw out that conviction, ruling a hospital blood draw was done without a warrant. The case was sent back to Carbon County, and prosecutors have asked the Superior Court to review that decision. A Bloomsburg man accused of posing as a federal security contractor has avoided a more serious charge. Police say 45-year-old Sean Patrick Smith was pulled over in Wilkes-Barre on July 4th while driving a silver Ford Taurus designed to look like a police vehicle. The car reportedly had tinted windows and emergency lights. Investigators say Smith falsely claimed he was working as a private security contractor for the Department of Homeland Security. On Monday, Smith pleaded guilty to minor traffic violations for improper lights and window tint. In exchange, prosecutors dropped the misdemeanor charge of impersonating a public servant. Supermarket giant Wegmans is alerting shoppers to a recall involving 3 of its canned fruit products. The items being pulled from shelves are Wegmans organic sliced pears, Wegmans food you feel good about halved pears and pear juice, and Wegmans FYFGA fruit cocktail. The company says the products may contain lead levels that exceed federal guidelines. The affected cans are stamped with a best buy date of September 1st, 2027, and the UPC codes listed on your screen. Wegmans FYFGA fruit cocktail 0-77890-46152-5, Wegmans FYFGA halved pears and pear juice 0-77890-74749-0, and Wegmans FYFGA organic sliced pears 0-77890-36541-0. Customers are urged not to eat the recalled products. Wegmans says they can be returned for a full refund. The chain operates stores in 10 states, including Pennsylvania. Next week is National Child Passenger Safety Week, and Pennsylvania state troopers are holding free child safety seat inspection events around the area. No appointment is needed to have your child's safety seat installed or inspected by certified child passenger seat technicians. In the Hazleton area, inspections will be Monday the 22nd and Thursday the 25th from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. at the Hazleton Township Fire Company on North Church Street. There will also be inspections in Blakesley on Tuesday the 23rd from 7 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. at the Blakesley Community Center on PA 115. To find more inspection events near you, visit www.pa.gov/agencies/psp/programs/child-passenger-safety-seat-events. Coming up on WYLN News, residents of Hazleton came out to ask questions about the future of transmission lines in our area. Plus, local elementary students now have a new cuddly buddy to read books to. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton's emergency room team. Your experts in any emergency. When emergencies happen, minutes and expertise count. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is now part of Jefferson Health.
My name is Abby, and my work will be cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman.
Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Office of Consumer Advocate, OCA, represents the interest of the public and utility customers, such as ones for Pennsylvania Power and Light, or PPL. On Tuesday evening, September 16th, at the Hazleton Area High School auditorium, a conference was held to discuss the OCA's role in transmission line cases, with Dane Watrow and Dave Argel in attendance. It is known that the Attorney General appoints the Consumer Advocate to lead the OCA, and it will evaluate and consider various topics, such as technical issues. The OCA will deep dive into the need for a transmission line or any other options. This week, many Hazleton area elementary students will get a new friend to take along on their reading adventures. The Hazleton Area School District is holding special Build-A-Bear workshops for kids and their parents at area schools as part of the Title I Parent and Family Engagement Program. Students build their own bear buddy and receive a new book to read aloud to their cuddly new friend. The process helps children practice their reading skills while at home and away from their classroom. Parents will have a chance to learn new ideas and strategies to enhance their child's literary journey. The workshops will be held at multiple schools around the district through Thursday. At Mohegan, Pennsylvania, a 71-year-old man found a bill on a casino machine which turned out to be counterfeit. According to the Pennsylvania State Police, after the man attempted to exchange the bill, the officials at the casino noticed the fraudulent bill as it read, "for motion picture purposes." The state police started an investigation on the fake bill that was taken in. Counterfeiting money in the state of Pennsylvania is a second-degree felony under its forgery law, and it will carry a max penalty of a decade in prison and a fine of $25,000. According to Mayor George Brown, another recycling event is coming to Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre will be hosting 2 drive-through recycling and paper shredding events. These events are limited to only Wilkes-Barre residents, and all must present residency proof. Recycled items won't be collected from businesses. Accepted items in the electronics department include common items such as computers, DVD players and VCRs, game consoles, telephones, cables, etc. The events both will take place at the Wilkes-Barre Public Works Facility, 3 Cunningham Avenue. For more information about the event and accepted/prohibited recycling items, call Mayor Brown's office at 570-208-4158 or visit wilkesbarre.city/special collections. With football continuing its season and the Phillies swinging to playoffs, Attorney General Dave Sunday is warning sports fans of potential scams when purchasing tickets. Most tickets are high demand in the NFL and MLB, meaning it's the season where scammers have the opportunity to use it to sell fake tickets to fans. The Office of Attorney General's Bureau of Consumer Protection says they only received a few complaints, but the opportunities for scammers will still increase. AG Sunday is asking fans to use verified market sellers like Ticketmaster or StubHub and avoid websites created by scammers that mimic the real thing. Coming up on Weatherly's News Choice, we'll see what Lisa Marie has in store for us on this week's Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Chris Fulmer continues the path through history with Part 3 of Lehigh. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus. With exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
For a better customer experience, visit Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. Fairway Subaru has been providing generations of customers with Subarus. With exceptional customer service they've come to expect. Check out our selection in person or at fairwaysubaru.com. Fairway Subaru, the right car, the right price, the right dealer.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and today we are at our beautiful Station Circle site here in Humboldt, and I am in the vast, I must say, beautiful therapy room here. But one thing that really intrigues me in this therapy room is this device that Christina and I are standing next to. Christina is a doctor of physical therapy, and she is going to tell us a little bit about what she does as a doctor of physical therapy, and we're also going to talk about this really interesting thing.
So as a doctor of physical therapy, we work here in the outpatient setting to evaluate and treat patients with various conditions.
Okay, so this machine right here, What is it for? Who benefits from it? Tell us more.
The anti-gravity treadmill here is a treadmill that basically lifts you up and helps to off-weight your body weight to allow you to walk and to move better.
So who qualifies to use this? Like, I mean, everybody who wants to get physical or needs to get physical therapy, I should say. And once again, if someone needs physical therapy, they would need a referral, correct? From their physician?
Ultimately, to come to physical therapy, you do need a referral from a physician or your primary care doctor. The evaluating therapist will treat and evaluate you on that first day to see if you are someone who would qualify to be in the anti-gravity treadmill.
Okay, so what's the scenario that I need to be in here?
Sure. There are patients who have had surgery who are not able to put full weight through their body or through a body part, a leg, that will allow them to off weight and be able to still walk and move and participate in therapy even under restrictions. And also people with chronic pain or a lot of pain while they're moving. This allows them to off weight their body and to still be able to move in good patterns.
So tell me how successful this has been using this.
We've had this machine for a few years now, and it's really helped to progress our patients a little bit quicker because we can allow them to move and do exercise in here in other situations where they would not be able to do that without eliminating gravity.
That's awesome. So is this one of our only sites that has this anti-gravity?
Up here in the Hazleton area, I do believe we are the only office that has the anti-gravity treadmill here.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, we're going to show you exactly how it works. We're going to have Trevor come over, and he's actually going to get in this and kind of show us what it's all about.
Sounds great.
Now just let her do everything, Trevor, because you're the patient, so you really don't know how this works, right?
Correct.
Yeah. You feel lighter?
Oh my God, yeah, so much lighter.
You start floating. This is going viral.
You will.
Up in the sea, what's the normal?
I mean, we can supervise over there.
How about just walk over like I'm checking on his progress? So this is really interesting. Tell us what he's experiencing and what it actually does to that weight.
So the treadmill is really interesting because you can take up to 80% of your weight away while you're walking, running, doing simple exercises in here, which can help to put less stress through the joints and help to alleviate pain while still moving.
Wow, I could see that. Like, it's, you know, really beneficial for our patients. Trevor, thank you for being so kind to show us how this works. Any final things you'd like to educate our community on about this?
Yeah, we've been using this for the last couple of years, and we've had a lot of patients express their gratitude and how nice it is to be in a machine to still be able to move and do exercise even while having some pain that restricts them.
Awesome. Well, Christina, thank you so much, and you too, Trevor. And thank you for watching Wellness Wednesday.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
My name is Addie, and my work will be cloudy.
As the 20th century dawned, Lehighton joined communities across the country in gaining trolley service. In this case, the trolley line in question was the Carbon County Electric Railway. Its champion was James Blakesley, who among other endeavors owned the Lehighton Electric Light and Power Company, which built the first power generator in Lehighton. Through Blakesley's lobbying, Lehighton Council approved a trolley line through the town in January 1901. Although floods in December 1901 and February 1902 caused significant damage to Blakesley's power plant and delayed the construction of the trolley line. A new power plant was built on higher ground above the Lehigh River, and eventually the trolley line opened a few years later. It entered Lehighton on a bridge over Beaver Run Creek, then went down Beaver Run Road, past Lehighton Fairgrounds, and into downtown Lehighton, where it turned onto First Street. The borough was thus connected on the rails to interurban rails all over Carbon County. Of course, accidents did happen on the line, such as the time in 1905 when a trolley coming down the hill into town jumped the tracks and ended up making an unplanned stop inside the Lehighton Exchange Hotel. And at times the trolley was used to cover up murders. The body of Slovenian immigrant Juhobo Aleksin was run over by a trolley near Beaver Run on September 26, 1906. A coroner's inquest afterwards, however, determined Aleksin had been dead long before the trolley hit his body, and reasoned he'd been killed beforehand and dumped onto the trolley tracks to make it look like an accident. As with many other communities, Lehighton's trolley service came to an end in the late 1920s, victims of the shift to automobiles, as well as the local power companies being bought out by the larger Pennsylvania Power and Light. The tracks and bridges would be torn out in 1926 and replaced by buses. Ironically, James Blakesley, who in the intervening years had served one term in the Pennsylvania legislature and 8 years as Woodrow Wilson's assistant postmaster general, died the same year. Blakesley lives on in Lehighton today, as his name, albeit with an extra E now added, now graces Route 443 in the borough as Blakesley Boulevard. It was during the middle of the trolley's heyday that arguably the most famous person to live in Lehighton first came to town. Franz Klein had been born in Wilkes-Barre in 1910. After his father died in 1917, the Klein family would move to Lehighton. He graduated from Lehighton High School, where he played both football and baseball, and contributed art to the school yearbook. In 1931, after graduation, Klein studied art at Boston University, then spent a year abroad in England at London's Heatherley School of Fine Art, during which time he met his future wife. He returned to New York in 1939 and began his painting career. Klein was a follower of the abstract expressionist school of art, with elements of cubism also penetrating his works. Mostly painting in black and white, his art reflected the abstractions of urban life. Klein's adoptive town would not forget him during his career. In 1945, the Lehighton American Legion would commission the then still struggling Klein to paint a mural for their building. With a $600 payment from the American Legion in hand, and with access to higher quality oil paints, in contrast to the lower grade standard household paints he normally used, Klein finished the piece, simply titled Lehighton, in 1946. The painting would hang in the American Legion building through 2016, when it was purchased by the Allentown Art Museum, which, after a restoration, put it on permanent display, where it remains today. Klein himself would frequently come back to Lehighton over the years, often arriving during the week of the Great Lehighton Fair. In his professional life, he would get a big break after a successful one-man show at New York's Eakin Gallery in 1950. Following a successful decade, he experimented with putting color back into his black and white works. Franz Kline died in 1962, but his legacy lives on, with his works displayed in many renowned art museums around the world. Lehighton residents in the 1920s had a few places where they could cool off on hot summer days, including Mahoning Creek. They would get a more formal place to swim in 1925 when Graver's Bathing Casino opened to swimmers. A product of the town's Graver family, which owned peach orchards and an ice harvesting business, the pool, which cost $15,000 to build, would be the largest concrete pool in Pennsylvania when it opened. Admission for guests was a dime and allowed them to cool down in a 100 by 150-foot pool that featured floral fountains in the center. The pool proved successful enough that the Gravers would build a similar pool in Lebanon in 1927. The original Lehighton pool would serve the community for decades until it was replaced by a new municipal pool in Bayer Memorial Park. Today, Snyder Tire stands on the site of the former Graver's Bathing Casino, and a few traces of the old pool, including several steps, can still be seen. Murder, or at least the hint of it, can rock a town to its depths. On June 7, 1941, Lehighton awoke to the news that silk magnate Pierce Rarig had been found floating face down in a slackwater dam near his bungalow in Big Creek Valley east of town. Rarig had been a strong executive with the Lovett Silk Mill, where he'd earned a patent for a quilting machine, before starting the R&C knitting mills with his former secretary Evelyn Chrisman in 1917. The two partners would also have a long romantic affair despite Rarig already being married. What Rarig did not know in his last days, though, was that Chrisman had been also seeing someone else, Fred Komatowski, who by some reports was getting tired of playing second fiddle to Rarig in his lover's life. Police arrested Komatowski, who initially gave a confession to arranging a suicide for Rarig, who was badly crippled by Parkinson's disease in 1941. In this initial statement, Komatowski said he dropped by Rarig's bungalow to visit Chrisman, where he found a despondent Rarig on the porch. Rarig had apparently begged Komatowski to put him in the dam and end his suffering, and after initially refusing, Komatowski had carried Rarig over to the dam, lifted him over the edge, and left him there to throw himself in. At trial, though, Komatowski told a different story. In this telling, he had left the depressed Rarig alive on the porch and gone back to Lehighton, where he'd taken care of several chores and gone to bed. It would be 6 o'clock the subsequent night, taking a nap after getting home from his job at the Lehigh Valley Railroad, they received a call from a friend that the police were looking for a missing Rarig. The two returned to the bungalow and would find Rarig's body in the dam. The trial would ultimately hinge on whether the crippled Rarig could have walked the 30 paces to the dam to commit suicide on his own. The jury in the end found Komatowski guilty of third-degree murder. A year later, however, the state Supreme Court overturned the conviction after it had come to light that Komatowski's original confession had been beaten out of him by police in a marathon 20-hour interrogation session. The fact there had been no eyewitnesses to Rarig's death, coupled with the lack of evidence that there had been a murder, and a reasonable belief that Rarig might indeed have committed suicide on his own, would exonerate Komatowski. He would live together with Evelyn Chrisman in the former R&C mill until his death in 1965. Today, Fred Komatowski rests in Naden Hutton Cemetery. Ironically, Pierce Rarig himself rests 30 paces, the distance he either walked or was carried to his own death, from Komatowski's grave. Whether his death was murder or suicide remains unsolved today, and the crime scene now rests underneath the waters of Beltsville Lake.
My name is Addie, and my work will be cloudy.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.